New opinion on what is going on with the Orlando Magic just dropped. So today we're going to be talking about what Zach Lowe, who has been making his return, his rounds to NBA media, has said about Orlando, specifically about head coach Jamahl Mosley. I thought it was very interesting, and we're also going to be talking about the Wizards' win last night. Good win for this team, definitely much needed and taking care of business. Right now, it looks like this 7th seed is going to come down to the wire between the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. But first, guys, you already know the drill. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Really helps out us here at Magic Digest. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. We're almost there, so let's hit that within this month, man. I definitely think we can do it. We're only like 50 subscribers away, so we'd really appreciate it. Putting in all this work, just trying to cover the Magic, be the best thing ever to hit 1,000. Okay, so Zach Lowe, as I mentioned, making his rounds. He was laid off by ESPN, I believe, earlier in this NBA season, but regardless, they lost a good one. He joined the Ringer, and he went on the Bill Simmons podcast just about a few days ago, and they were discussing what is going on with the Orlando Magic, and he actually made a really good point. It doesn't change how I feel too much about Jamahl Mosley, but it was kind of reiterating some of what you guys have said in the comments below, so I figured it was really good. This is part of his quote. "We are long past the point where the Orlando Magic's offense, despite Jalen Suggs being out, despite Cole Anthony being out, despite Mo Wagner being out, and all of that, it just should not be this bad." And then he goes on to say, "It is so bad and so unwatchable and so uncreative that at some point somebody in what remains of the basketball media in Orlando has to gently ask the question, what's the idea of this offense?" And I actually think that that's a really good take and it's one that's, I think, surprising for anybody in national media. But Zach Lowe is usually on his stuff, so definitely very well respected, at least by me, and I believe most NBA basketball circles. If you follow the NBA, Zach Lowe is definitely a must. Okay, I think it's a take that it's not lazy. It's recognizing that the Orlando Magic have had 3 or 4 different seasons, different iterations within this one season this year. We had the Paolo Banchero is here for the first 5 games, and then we had Franz Wagner's leading the way. Okay, we're pretty good, even despite some of these other injuries that are piling up. And then it was the Jalen Suggs December era with Cole Anthony and Anthony Black. The Cole Anthony resurgence. Anthony Black is back too, and he's out there playing pretty well. And this was kind of like maybe right around when Mo Wagner went down, and we're winning games, right? But we are not winning every single game, but we're having a pretty good December, and we're hiding a lot of what's wrong. Jamahl Mosley, Coach of the Year candidate. Then after that, Paolo comes back. He's a little bit slower than we thought, returning from injury, getting his groove. Franz Wagner then comes back as well. Now the Magic are still losing. Then no deal at the deadline. And with all of that, now I think is where we are currently, and that would be where Paolo Banchero is playing really well. Franz Wagner is playing very well also, but it's mainly been Paolo Banchero, and we're still kind of about a 500 team. And the offense, through all of those iterations, was either masked by something, a great performance by a great player being Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, or a step-up game by anybody else. KCP was just the latest. And just, or something was wins, maybe a great defensive performance. We're kind of hiding it. Right now, we still have that uncreative offense, and Zach Lowe, I think, is bringing up a really, really good point, which is like, hey, look, what is going on? And that probably would fall on Jamahl Mosley, because it still feels like some of the basketball sets that this team is running, despite not making a move at the deadline, is questionable, and it's concerning, and this team should be better than what their record is, right? So I appreciate him saying that, and I kind of posed the question to everybody watching this video, what do you think? Who, again, do you think is more to blame for this team being where they are right now? I feel like we all think that this team could be a lot better than what their record is, and right now it seems like, depending on how they're playing, I don't know how many games they could take off a team like the Cavs or the Celtics. I'm questionable of that, and I'm questioning how good this team could be in the long run, but I don't know how much of it does actually fall on Jamahl Mosley. Okay, so I did, as I mentioned, also want to talk about the game against the Wizards. The Wizards played, admirably. Bub Carrington played well. He actually had one of the better games of the season for him, and the Wizards just didn't have enough. They're not really trying to win games right now. Sarr is a decent second overall pick, but it's just not really clicking for them. They're 17-60 right now. They are playing for next season. The Magic are now 38-40. They won this game 109-97. Just wanted to give props to the Magic. The Wizards shot pretty well from three, but this was a game determined based off of the fouls. The Magic got to the free throw line. They were very good defensively. They were not fouling the Wizards. We're not giving them any easy baskets. Paolo Banchero with 33 points. Franz Wagner with 27 points. Huge. Now, the bench was not great for this Magic team the other night, but still a lot to like. KCP actually played very well again now back-to-back, so hopefully that is something that he can carry into the playoffs. We are healthy. Once again, Tristan Silva did not play, but I think that this team is pretty much a full go for the playoffs as is. There's nothing that's really going to change. I don't know when Cole Anthony's going to be slotted back into that starting role. Maybe that'll come playoff time. I'd imagine it's going to be on the way very soon. He had 8 points. Jonathan Isaac had 4 points. We kind of had a little bit of a Batadze no-show in a sense based off of Jamahl Mosley's rotation. Felt like he wasn't a good matchup against the Wizards. And got to be honest, I don't know. I think Batadze deserves a little bit of grace, a little bit of a period of letting him be as far as like giving him the opportunity to make some plays for this team. But Jamahl Mosley continuously has just, I don't know, taken him out of the lineup willy-nilly, and that's just how the season has gone as towards the home stretch for this Magic team. So it is what it is. That's probably my biggest gripe with Jamahl Mosley, rather than maybe just the offense, because I do think that this team should have made some deals at the deadline. Did also want to mention Wendell Carter Jr. added 10 points, so that was good. We had a little bit of front court scoring. Zach Lowe also went on to say some stuff about the front court and what they potentially could have added at the trade deadline, which I also thought was super insightful. Kind of more so pointing towards, when you look at this box score, where's the scoring coming from the center position, right? Because not just the front court, because you can put, Paolo and Franz at the 4, the 3, right? And that's probably where they usually slot in. So, especially when we run small, you maybe even have like Paolo at the 5. But where's the scoring coming from the center position? And then is there a dynamic guard that can make plays happen? We have seen an uptick in the last handful of games in the assist numbers for this team. 27 was really, really good for this squad. And when we shoot well, 11 of 30 from the three-point line and 46% from the floor, well, those shots are gonna fall. Those assist numbers are gonna come. So the offense, in my opinion, hasn't looked as stagnant at times throughout this stretch towards the very end of the year when Paolo Banchero's really got it going, but he deserves some more support. Thought it was super interesting what Zach Lowe said, though, and it's always great to get a win over a team that you know that you should get a win against, especially towards the later part of this season. Now, the Magic, as I mentioned earlier, are going to go down to the wire for this 7th seed, it looks like, against the Atlanta Hawks. They have a handful of days off, which is really, really good for them. Then they go play the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday. Then they got the Celtics, Pacers, and Hawks. So we're going to know what we have in this team over the last 4 games. If we go 4-0 and we end this season 42-40, which I fully want this team to end over 500, if they can do that, I think that this team can really, really come into the play-in with some momentum. Obviously, if they go into the play-in and make it out and go to the playoffs and they won their last 4 games, that means that they're probably either 5-1 or 5-0 during that time. That is a really, really good, or during the last 6 or 5 games of the season, that is a really, really good spot for the Magic. And they have won 2 games now against the Spurs and against the Warriors. You have to like at least that they're winning these games despite some of these issues. Right now, they are a full game ahead of Atlanta, and they have played 2 more games, but they've gotten 2 more wins. So definitely a good spot. 7-3 over the last 10. So not all is bad when we're talking about the Orlando Magic. So a good win. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Was Zach Lowe's analysis on the Magic correct, or are you blaming it more on Weltman? I've asked this question plenty of times, so feel free to twist it a little bit and tell me anything that you think about the Orlando Magic as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more Orlando Magic basketball content.